was just for your own viewing, and then when you finished it and everything, then you could upload
Everybody
it.
wave to the YouTube folks. Hello, YouTube folks. Welcome.
Hey.
Are we rolling?
Hi, Mr. Pacey.
Being non-conforming.
You guys ready?
Thorough.
All right. Bill, you ready?
I am ready.
We need energy tonight. When we get into the 60-second round, let's make sure we're talking and working together as a team tonight. So, first off, let me say congratulations to both of you guys. It is, and I'll probably say something at the end, but I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this. This is so much fun, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. And we'll be doing it again next year, obviously. And you guys are all the teams are welcome to come back, and hopefully it'll grow a little bit more and. Maybe we can get more teams involved next year. That'd be fantastic.
We're not sure about Joseph yet. We're still deciding whether he's
exactly
third-year senior or fourth-year senior.
Yeah. Patrick, you're going to be team captain.
Yeah.
Okay, and you got something to say, and Matt, you got something to say. Are you you're going to do that at the half? Okay. All right, let's begin the finals of the. Hang on, just a second. That speaker's really loud.
You just kind of took it from you. I'm saying it today.
Well, this is his last match, though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
I'm
a
being generous. I don't even care if he messes it up. I mean, did he mess it up last week?
Okay.
I was interested.
Here we go with the finals of the Academic Challenge, 6 o'clock on the 8th of March, 2016. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the finals of Academic Challenge on News Talk 94.9 WSJM. I am Ray Gustafson, your host and moderator. And today we're featuring teams from Berrien Springs and St. Joseph. WSJM's Academic Challenge features scholastic competition involving high schools from around southwest Michigan. Academic Challenge is sponsored by Berrien Springs Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Lakeshore Public Schools, and the Cook Nuclear Plant. As we head into the finals, let's meet the teams. We'll head over to Berrien Springs first and introduce yourself and what grade you're in and something else that I haven't asked you to say this season.
Uh-oh.
My name is Joseph James Johnson. I am a senior, and something else you haven't asked me to say this season would be, how have you been? Because you don't ask about me. So I've been pretty good.
Good. Fantastic. So any shout-outs you want to say to anybody?
I want to give a shout-out to Matt for always being there, unless today at practice when you weren't.
Right.
And your principal gets some points.
All right. Let's move on.
I'm Matthew Reeves. I'm a senior, so this is my last match. And, yeah.
Come on. Something special about yourself.
Special? I'm not special.
There we go.
All right.
My name is Brady West, and I'm a junior at Berrien Springs High School. Just thought I'd remind.
Pretty special.
And you'll be back next year.
Oh, I will.
This fall. This fall.
I will.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I am Callie Staub. I am also a junior from Berrien Springs High School. And something you haven't asked me, I actually use an alias.
And that would be?
Callie Staub.
There you go. All right. Let's move over to St. Joseph.
I'm Patrick Fisher. I'm a senior, and this is my last match.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan Faulkner. I'm a senior, and I'm really enjoying the weather right now.
Yeah. It is nice.
I'm CJ Wright. I'm a junior, and I really enjoy playing baseball.
And you're coming back this fall?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm Ryan, sophomore, and I'm going to be captain next year for St. Joe.
Nice. So, well, welcome. You guys have worked hard to get to the match here on the Academic Challenge. This is the finals, and so someone is going to go home with the trophy. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, you can see the trophy proudly displayed. So whoever wins tonight gets to take the trophy home and gets to hang on to it for a year until we wrap up again next year for the 2016-2017 Academic Challenge. Well, we got a couple of basic rules. During the first and second halves, we'll announce the value of each question before it is asked. When you press your button, make sure that you wait for me to recognize you. There's no consultation allowed except during the 60-second round at halftime. Again, my name is Ray Gustafson, your scorekeeper and judge. And as always, Bill Klein is coming in to ask the questions. Bill, are you ready for this final match?
Oh, I am so ready. This is going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
Two great teams.
I'm really, really excited. Teams, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Go. All right, let's begin the finals of the Academic Challenge. And Yep, make sure you talk nice and clear into those mics so everybody can hear you, and here we go.
Okay, we're going to start off with a math question.
Get your pencils ready.
For 5 points. The moon's surface gravity is 1/6 that of Earth. If a man weighed 162 pounds on Earth, how much would he weigh on the moon?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
27 pounds.
That is correct.
There you go.
5 points.
For 20 points, what is Elizabeth Blackwell famous for in American history?
Patrick, St. Joe.
With
Oh, my bad. They got it marked. Ryan E. St. Joe. My bad.
the first woman,
Backwards.
Got 'em
the
back.
first woman to get a medical degree or graduate from medical school.
That's correct answer for 20 points.
20 points.
For 10 points, the
Clear.
Humber Suspension Bridge over the Humber River near Hull, England, is the longest suspension bridge in the world. The Verrazano Narrows Bridge in New York is the second longest. Which is the third?
Callie, Berrien Springs.
The Golden Gate Bridge.
That is correct. 10
10
points.
points.
For 10 points, what is the name given to cults which travesty Christian rites with directly opposite ceremonies such as the Black Mass?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Satanist.
That's correct for 10 points. Another math question for 5 points. If I bought an item for $6.79, how much change would I get from a $10 bill?
CJ, St. Joe.
$3.21.
That is correct for 5 points. For 5 points, what biblical character, when he was returning, was seen afar off by his father?
Callie, Berrien Springs.
The Prodigal Son.
That is correct for 5 points. For 5 points, the brakes on most cars work on the hydraulic principle that a fluid cannot be compressed.
Sorry about that.
Another principle of physics is also at work, involving resistance to motion. What is the scientific law necessary for brakes to work?
Patrick, St. Joe.
Inertia.
Incorrect.
Berrien Springs, 5 seconds. Joe, Berrien Springs.
Newton's second law.
Incorrect. Friction.
Friction.
For 15 points, the Arkansas River touches 4 states. Name any 3 of them.
CJ, St. Joe.
Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi.
Incorrect.
Berrien Springs, 5 seconds. Brady, Berrien Springs.
Arkansas, Mississippi, and Missouri.
Incorrect. Arkansas, Colorado, Kansas, and Oklahoma. For 20 points,
Tough question.
among his masterpieces is Maid Servant Pouring Milk. It hangs in the Amsterdam Rijksmuseum, but is not a Rembrandt. Who painted it?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Van Gogh.
Incorrect.
St. Joe, 5 seconds. Ryan F., St. Joe.
Monet.
Incorrect. Jean Vermeer. I have 12 of those.
Yeah.
For 5 points. 5 points. Let's play a little Jeopardy. George Lee Mallory's answer was because it is there. What was the question?
Matthew, Berrien Springs.
Why was it there?
Incorrect.
St. Joe, I'll give you 5 seconds.
Why do you want to climb Mount Everest? Okay. For 10 points, of alpha, beta, gamma, visible, and infrared, which type of radiation has the highest frequency?
Callie, Berrien Springs.
Gamma rays.
That is correct.
For
For
10
points.
Yep. Good.
For 10 points, do peacocks give birth to their young or do they lay eggs?
Joseph, Berrien Springs.
They lay eggs.
Incorrect.
What?
Ryan F., St. Joe.
Give birth to their young.
Incorrect. A trick question. Peacocks are male. Neither one. The feline lays eggs. I have to throw one in there every time.
Here we go.
Should have been.
Oh, but I almost deleted that.
Should have been more than 20.
That's just for fun.
Multiple choice question for 5 points.
You might want to write some of these down just to help you remember.
You'll get this one.
All right.
To which of the following instruments is the saxophone most similar? Trombone, trumpet, clarinet, or flute?
Joseph, Berrien Springs.
Clarinet.
That is correct. For 5 points. For 15 points, what is the device called that a doctor uses to measure one's blood pressure?
Brady, Berrien Springs. 3, 2,
Stethoscope.
1. Incorrect. 5 seconds, St. Joe. Patrick, St. Joe.
Blood pressure cuff.
Incorrect. Now you're going to have to make me pronounce this. Zygmomanometer.
All right. Say that 3 times fast.
Sphygmomanometer. Whatever they say.
All right.
For 10 points, a famous myth tells of Orpheus, whose playing on the lyre charmed all nature. When he went to reclaim his dead wife from Hades, he made the mistake of looking back and lost her forever. What was his wife's name?
Brady, Berrien Springs. 3 seconds.
Persephone.
Persephone.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. St. Joe, 5 seconds.
Eurydice.
Close enough. I think we'd get it anyway.
Another math question.
Oh, geez, they're buzzing in already. You haven't even asked it yet. So.
A math question for 15 points. One angle of a triangle is 3 times a second angle, and the third angle is 20 degrees more than the second angle. What's the measure of the second angle?
Say it one more time.
One angle of a triangle is 3 times a second angle, and the third angle is 20 degrees more than the second angle. What's the measure of the second angle?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
32 degrees.
That is correct. There we
go.
For 15 points.
About 2 minutes left.
For 5 points, which of the following terms does not belong? Backflip, back float, backhoe, back glide.
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Backhoe.
That's correct for 5 points. For 10 points, from what sport do we get the term back fist?
Clear.
Joseph, your buzzer's not working.
Boxing.
Try buzz it again. Just there we go. Okay, Joseph, Berrien Springs. There
Boxing.
we go. Boxing.
Incorrect.
Patrick, St. Joe.
Wrestling.
And karate.
Karate.
For 10 points, in Matthew 25, we read of a parable of the talents. What exactly is a talent?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
A unit of money.
That is correct for 10 points.
10 points, nice.
For 10 points, of the plants that give us black pepper, red pepper, bell pepper, and peppermint, which one is grown in the United States and Canada as a perennial?
Joseph, Berrien Springs.
Bell pepper.
I'm sorry?
Bell pepper?
Incorrect.
Patrick, St. Joe.
Peppermint.
That's correct for 10 points.
10 points.
For 20 points, what sea lies between 2 continents, Asia and Europe?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
The Sea of Marmara.
That is correct for 10 points. 20 points, I'm sorry. 20 points. For 10 points, what man grossed an incredible $105 million in 1927?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Andrew Carnegie.
Incorrect.
St. Joe. Ryan E., St. Joe.
Rockefeller.
Incorrect. Al Capone.
Well, that's the end of the first half of today's Academic Challenge. We'll be back with the score in the 60-second round right after this on News Talk 94.9 WSJM. Here we go with the 60-second round of the Academic Challenge Finals. Coming up in 3, 2, 1. We're back on the Academic Challenge on News Talk 94.9 WSJM, and at the end of the first half of the finals, the score is Berrien Springs 95, St. Joseph 30. Now on to the 60-second round. Teams, you have 3 categories to choose from. We'll give you 60 seconds to answer as many of the 10 questions as you can, each one worth 10 points. There will be a 20-point bonus if you answer all 10 within that 60 seconds. Please, you are encouraged to consult out loud with one another at this point, but the answers need to come from the team captain. After that minute's up, the opposing team will have a chance to answer any questions the first team could not answer. So, St. Joe, you are trailing at the moment. You have first choice of one of these 3 categories, which are fathers and sons, detectives, and inter. So, Patrick, your team captain, what's your choice?
We'll go with inter.
Inter it is. Bill, do we have a setup on this one?
Yes.
Go ahead and read the setup, and then we'll get started.
The setup is the Latin word inter means between or among. We're going to try some inter words now.
Okay, try it. Read that intro one more time. Sorry.
The Latin word inter means between or among. Let's try some inter words now.
All right, 60 seconds on that timer, and that 60 seconds will begin as soon as Bill finishes reading the first one.
Located on the inside.
Pass.
A short piece coming between the major sections of an opera.
Intermission.
Incorrect. A light or farcical entertainment between the acts of a play.
Intermission.
Incorrect. To explain the meaning of or elucidate.
Pass.
It means coming and going at intervals, such as a drizzle.
Intermittent.
Correct. A feeling of curiosity or a claim of or legal share of something.
Interest.
Correct. It's the formal consultation to evaluate the aptitude, training, or progress of a student or prospective employee.
Pass.
It literally means to break between or to stop the flow of.
Intercept.
Incorrect. To impede, tamper, be a hindrance or obstacle to.
All right, time's up. So they got 2?
2.
2 correct. So 20 points for St. Joe. So that means Berrien Springs. There are 8 unanswered questions. And Joseph or Matt, who's the team captain on this one?
Oh, Matt is.
Matt's going to be the team captain. All right, we'll put 60 seconds back on that timer. We need to get moving. So here we go with 60 seconds and begin, Bill.
Located on the inside.
Yeah, that's it.
Internal.
That's correct. A short piece coming between the major sections of an opera.
Interlude.
Incorrect. It's intermezzo. A light or farcical entertainment between the acts of a play.
Interplay.
Incorrect. It's interlude. To explain the meaning of or to elucidate.
Yes.
Interpret.
Yes, correct. It's the formal consultation to evaluate the aptitude, training, or progress of a student or prospective employee.
Interview.
Correct. It literally means to break between,
Intersect.
to stop the flow
No,
of.
they said that. It was wrong.
Interrupt?
Interrupt.
Interrupt.
Because rupt means break.
Interrupt, correct?
Right, interrupt was correct. To impede, tamper, be a hindrance or obstacle to.
Intercept.
So they said that.
But that was for
That's for the
previous
other one.
Intercept.
Intercept.
Incorrect. Interfere.
Oh.
yeah.
A papal censure.
Interdict.
Correct.
No, it's got to come from the team captain.
Interdict. Say it.
Interdict.
They said it correct? Okay,
Yep.
good. So they got 5?
Yes.
5 correct, so 50 points there. All right, now we'll move over to Berrien Springs, and you get to choose, Matt, the one of the remaining 2 categories, which we have fathers and sons and detectives.
We'll go with fathers and sons.
Fathers and sons it is. Bill, do we have a setup on this one?
No.
Nope,
This is
we're just going to go.
Fathers and sons.
60 seconds back on that timer. It will begin as soon as you're done reading the first one.
The father was a poet. The son was a Supreme Court justice.
Pass.
Pass.
The father became prime minister in 1766. The son held the same office in 1783.
Yeah. What? Say it.
Defer to Callie.
Disraeli.
What's got to come from
Who's Disraeli?
Matt?
Incorrect.
Yeah, Matt's team captain.
All right.
The father was second president of the United States.
Adams.
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 And John Quincy Adams.
Correct.
Correct? Good.
The father took the young son on several concert tours of Europe in the 18th century.
Beethoven and his son.
No.
Just say Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Incorrect. The father used the assembly line to mass-produce
Ford.
automobiles. We need the names of the...
Henry and Gerald.
Henry and Gerald.
Incorrect. The father of the Jews was willing to sacrifice his only son to show his devotion to God.
No.
Moses and Isaac.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Moses and Isaac.
Moses and Isaac.
Incorrect.
Time's up. So they got one?
You got one.
All right. So that means, St. Joe, there are 9 unanswered questions. We'll move on. Put 60 seconds back on that timer. Patrick, your team captain. Let's begin. Here we go.
The father was a poet. The son was a Supreme Court justice.
Pass.
I can't pass now. Well, okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's great.
The father became prime minister in 1766. The son held the same office in 1783.
Pass.
The father took the young son on several concert tours of Europe in the 18th century.
Mozart.
Need the names.
Like Wolfgang and then
Ludwig and Wolfgang.
Correct. It's Leopold and Wolfgang.
Yep.
The father used the assembly line to mass-produce automobiles. The son took over the company.
Henry Ford and John Ford.
Henry and Edsel Ford. The father of the Jews was willing to sacrifice his only son to show his devotion to God.
Abraham and Isaac.
Correct. The father was a general and conquered Greece. The son conquered much of the ancient world.
Philip II.
Philip II and Alexander the Great.
Correct. The father was a coach for the Baltimore Orioles. The son played shortstop for the team.
Time's up. So they got 2?
2.
2 correct. So they got 20 points. All right.
Would have been right.
All right. So that puts a wrap on the 60-second round. We will check the scores and conclude the game next here on News Talk 94.9 WSJM. And Patrick, you ready? Okay, you guys ready? Here we go with the second half. All right, here we go. Second half of the finals of Academic Challenge in 3, 2, 1. This is the Academic Challenge on News Talk 94.9 WSJM. The score at the end of the 62nd round of the finals of the Academic Challenge. Berrien Springs at 155. St. Joe is at 60. It's now time to find out what's happening at each of our participating schools. We'll head over to Berrien Springs. Joseph, tell us all the great things going on.
Greetings from Berrien Springs High School. Let me be the first to say, welcome spring. Congratulations to Garrett Cleveland on his 6th place finish at the 112-pound individual state wrestling tournament last week. Garrett also finished the season with all-state honors. Our boys basketball team will compete in districts tonight against Lakeshore at Buchanan at 5 p.m. Good luck, boys. Congratulations to all of our high school choir on your superior rating at District Choir Festival. We wish you the best of luck at state. We would also like to wish those attending state BPA next week good luck. That's it. The Academic Challenge team will also be hosting its first ever Shamrock's Got Talent show on Wednesday, March 16th at 5 p.m. in our high school gym. Because we were going to host it somewhere else, but we just didn't. Tickets are $2 at the door. Parent-teacher conferences will be held on March 30th and 31st. Before we close, we would like to say thank you for the opportunity to compete over the course of Of the year? Is that what it says?
Sure.
Yeah. Of the year.
We'll go with that.
And thank Lake Michigan College, Berrien Springs Public Schools, Lakeshore Public Schools, the APE radio stations of WSJM-FM-94.9
Close
for
enough.
sponsoring this event.
Thank you, Joseph. So, and I need to stand corrected. St. Joe, before we come to you, I said when we came back, I said you had 60, you have 70 points. I was looking at the 60-second round, so my bad. So you're sitting at 70 points. Patrick, tell us all the great things going on at St. Joe.
Hello from St. Joe. This week we're hosting a district robotics competition, and we invite everyone to come out to St. Joseph High School and watch this Friday and Saturday. Admission is free. Our girls basketball team finished up a great season this past weekend with an 18-4 record, and we are very proud of our Lady Bears. Our boys basketball team plays tomorrow against Kalamazoo Central. Our very own Ryan Faulkner will compete at the state swim meet this Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
We wish him the best of luck. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Lake Michigan College, Berrien Springs Public Schools, Cook Nuclear Plant, Lakeshore Public Schools, and our host, WSJM.
Fantastic. And we have a substitution for St. Joe. Say your name and nice and close to that microphone. And it's something that I haven't asked you before that's interesting, that may be a deep, dark secret or something. I'm just kidding.
Remember, he does have a Fifth Amendment.
That's true. That's true.
My name's Hudson. I'm a sophomore at St. Joe, and I played tennis for St. Joe.
Fantastic. And you're coming back in the fall for Academic Challenge?
Sure.
I like it. All right, Bill, are we ready for the second half?
Oh, we certainly are.
Teams, are you ready for the second half?
Yes.
Wow.
I am, at least. I don't know
Wow.
about you.
Yeah.
Come on,
Here we go.
Joe.
Let's begin the second half. Get your hands on your buzzers. Bill, let's go.
For 10 points, what was the first country to declare war in the First World War?
Patrick, St. Joe.
Austria-Hungary.
That is correct for 10 points. For 15 points, a digital computer is normally organized into 4 kinds of functional units: control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and input-output units are 3 of them. What is the 4th?
Ryan F., St. Joe.
Display.
Incorrect.
Berrien Springs, anybody? Brady, Berrien Springs.
Sound units.
Incorrect. It's memory or storage units.
I remember that.
20 points. What Italian wrote a real horse opera, The Girl of the Golden West?
Hudson, St. Joe.
Giuseppe Verdi.
Incorrect. Giacomo Puccini. For 10 points, what is the name for a promise by a seller that the goods sold is exactly as he or she represented it?
Ryan E. from St. Joe.
Guarantee.
That's correct for 10 points. For 10 points, can you name the only U.S. capital which has a 3-word name?
Ryan E., St. Joe.
Salt Lake City.
That's correct for 10 points. For 15 points, what word etymologically means a common people's decree, meaning that they impose their will by voting on a matter, and is a word defined today as a direct vote which expresses the will of the people on a political...
Ryan E., St. Joe.
Referendum.
Incorrect.
Go ahead and finish the question.
A political issue, as in the choice of a national sovereignty.
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Democracy.
Incorrect. It's a plebiscite. For 5 points, how do you spell bookkeeper?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Bookkeeper.
That's correct for 5 points.
5 points.
For 5 points, legend has it that if the groundhog sees its shadow, how many more weeks of winter?
Hudson, St. Joe.
That's correct.
Sorry, 6? Yeah, wait for me to call on you. So 5 points. Good. Here we go.
For 15 points, photographer Paul Gorish photographed singer John Lennon on the last night of his life, December 8th, 1980, autographing his album, Double Fantasy. This became the last photo of Lennon alive. Who was Lennon autographing the album for?
Ryan E., St. Joe.
Mark David Chapman.
That is correct for 15 points. The guy who killed him. For 15 points, the play concerns Franklin Roosevelt's battle with infantile paralysis. What play concerns Franklin Roosevelt's battle with infantile paralysis?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Roosevelt.
Incorrect. Good guess.
Okay, you got it right on the bell. Ryan F., St. Joe.
11 years.
Incorrect. Sunrise at Campobello. For 5 points, identify the only god in common to the Greeks, Romans, and Nassau.
Joseph, Berrien Springs.
Apollo.
That is correct.
For 5 points.
For 5 points, a math question. Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.50. Jill came down with twice as much as Jack. How much money did Jack give Jill?
Hudson, St. Joe.
50 cents.
That's correct. Yeah, it's typical.
5 points. Yeah.
5 points.
I go up even, and she comes down with more money. Always. For 10 points, what French-bred hunting dog has short legs and a deep, penetrating voice?
Callie, Berrien Springs.
Greyhound.
Incorrect.
Ryan F., St. Joe.
Spaniel.
Incorrect. It's a basset hound. For 10 points, what organization lost members by defending the rights of American Nazis to march in Skokie, Illinois?
Ryan E., St. Joe.
ACLU.
That's correct.
For 10 points.
For 10 points. For 15 points, in Tolstoy's Anna Karenina, specifically, how did Anna die?
Ryan E., St. Joe.
She threw herself under a train.
That is correct for 15 points. Nice. For 10 points, in music, to play a piece without having first practiced it is called what?
Matthew, Berrien Springs.
Sight reading.
That's correct.
For 10 points.
For 5 points, Jesus said only he that is without sin may do what?
Hudson, St. Joe.
Throw the first stone.
That's correct.
5 points.
For 15 points, from the Hindi, this word means a large porch along one or more sides of a house. What's the word?
Ryan F., St. Joe.
Balcony.
Incorrect.
Joseph, Berrien Springs.
Veranda.
That's correct.
For 15
For 15
points.
points. For 15 points, name the Austrian physician, psychiatrist, and psychologist who believed that an informity complex...
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Sigmund Freud.
Incorrect.
Go ahead and finish.
Is the driving force of all human activity, a theory he called individual psychology.
St. Joe, anybody? Ryan E., St. Joe.
Piaget.
Incorrect. It's Alfred Adler. For 20 points, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Matthew, Berrien Springs.
Nothing.
Need an answer? Nothing? Okay. Is there more?
What British statesman of the 18th century made this observation?
Patrick, St. Joe.
Locke.
Incorrect. Edmund Burke. For 10 points, the Sierra Nevada is a mountain range in the western United States. In what country are the Sierra Madres?
Ryan E., St. Joe.
Mexico.
That's correct. For 5 points, scattering of light produces what obvious effect in our atmosphere?
Patrick, St. Joe.
Blue sky.
That's correct.
For 15.
For 10 points, a multiple choice
Or
question.
5 points.
That was 5 points.
Yep, sorry.
10 points. The efficiency of a steam engine is increased by the addition of A, the capacitor, B, a condenser, C, a control valve, or D, a heat pump.
Brady, Berrien Springs.
A heat pump.
Incorrect.
Patrick, St. Joe.
Control valve.
Incorrect. It was a condenser. For 5 points, it means to remove from the rites of the church. Oh,
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Excommunicate.
We want to just start that one over?
Yeah, let's start that one
Okay,
over.
we're going to start fresh on that one
Okay.
because there was a little mix-up
Yeah.
in the question. So
For 5 points, it means to remove from the rites of the church. How do you spell excommunicate?
Hudson, St. Joe.
EXCOMMUNICATE.
That's correct.
For 5 points.
That's 5 points. For 10 points, identify the last occasion Congress declared war on any country.
Patrick, St. Joe.
December 8th, 1942.
That's correct. World War II.
Less
15
than 2 minutes,
How many
guys.
points?
For 15 points, what has 4 wheels and flies?
Ryan E., St. Joe.
A garbage truck.
That's correct for 15 points. For 20 points, state the contrapositive of the following statement. If Mickey Mouse is a mouse, then Donald is not a duck.
Brady, Berrien Springs.
If Mickey Mouse is a duck, then Donald Duck is a mouse.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. St. Joe. Ryan F., St. Joe.
If Mickey Mouse is not a mouse, then Donald Duck is not a duck.
Incorrect. It's Donald is a duck, then Mickey is not a mouse. For 5 points, a mirror's action on light rays is called reflection. What is a prism's action on light?
Brady, Berrien Springs.
Refraction.
That's correct.
4 or 5.
5 points. For 10 points, named for the first Secretary of State of the Republic, it served as capital. This city was abandoned for 2 years due to threats by Indians and Mexican raiders.
Callie, Berrien Springs.
Jefferson.
Incorrect. Name this state capital.
Ryan E., St. Joe.
Sacramento.
Incorrect. Austin, Texas. Just the anniversary of the Alamo.
Last question.
For 15 points, the 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution is the last of the Bill of Rights. What does it provide for?
Callie, Berrien Springs.
Any rights not mentioned in the Constitution are given to the states.
That is correct.
That's it.
That is it.
For 15 points.
15 points.
Well,
Wow, what a
that
great-
does it. That's
great-
the end of the
great-
Academic
great
Challenge
match.
Finals. We'll tabulate the scores and announce the winners after this on News Talk 94.9 WSJM. Oh, levels were down? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
All right, you ready? All right, here we go with the final wrap-up in 3, 2, 1. We're back on News Talk 94.9, WSJM's Academic Challenge, to announce today's winner. Thank our sponsors. The winners, by a score of 215 to 205, the team from Berrien Springs. Congratulations to both teams. Thank you for joining us on News Talk 94.9, WSJM's Academic Challenge, brought to you by Lakeshore Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Berrien Springs Public Schools, and the Cook Nuclear Plant. We'll see you again in the fall on Academic Challenge.
Right. Good job, guys.